Hello, and hey, welcome back. Well, anyway, there's this new, well, not really sure how new it is, but there's this system called microStudio out here on the internet. You can go to microstudio.dev and look over this nice game engine that's available for free to create game projects. I'm pretty sure you've heard about this particular tool, or if you haven't already, you should check it out. It has a lot of nice, interesting features and also a nice, helpful community. It is available for a variety of different operating systems: Windows, Macintosh, Linux, and I have a course on it and maybe two books about this particular course out right now. Well, at least it's coming out soon if you haven't seen it already. By the time you watch this video, this should be out. But anyway, it's a pretty nice tool. You can use it for creating projects. You can create a simple project here. It'll title it. You can give it okay. You can make a game project in it. It has a pretty straightforward process here. You can have it has a pretty easy to understand system structuring. You can define your code here. X equal to 0, y equal to 0, and then if you wanted to add images to your particular project, there is a sprite editor associated with the file. You can click this. If you use this thing called icon here, you can have the sprite down here at the bottom, right? And you can actually copy, paste this code into the editor inside of the draw function, and then immediately the output will be rendered inside of this window, right? It'll automatically save the code. If you can, well, if I copy paste this here, it's Control C and then Control V. It'll automatically render whatever icon or sprite that I have there inside of the particular window. It actually gives you the progress of what you plan to do when you run it. It outputs your output there on the window. It's pretty straightforward and fast. I can actually do some manipulations to this object here. If I update, if I take the, if I say x is equal to x plus 1, okay, and now it moves, right? Cool, right? It's great. X is equal to x plus 1, or if I say x is equal to x plus, nope, no, that's wrong variable, right? Y, it saves automatically. Also, you can also actually register an account with them, and you can work on your projects through the cloud. Okay, let me restart this. You can actually, it'll render your applications inside of a window. Right? It works. You can make things. You can output your projects there to the web and showcase your work and your other activities that you make for whatever you're doing there. And so there's a bug here that we can fix, right? We can go. You can go into the system side the draw function, and there's a clear function. I think it's a clear dot. Anyway, it's a screen dot clear. Okay, I believe that should fix it. Maybe I'm doing something wrong there. Let me pause this. Let me run this again and see, does that fix the loop process? Well, nope, that didn't do it. Maybe I did something wrong there. But anyway, you can also, it actually has a similar scripting library called microScript. You can comment off lines like in C++. And it also reads in game input features, like if you have a keyboard dot up, and I can put this logic here inside of that, and then I can press the end on that, and then inside the function there, or if I see, if maybe I need a, well, anyway, there's a whole lot of things you can do to kind of parent your, let me comment this off, and then maybe that works. Not sure if it works or not. We'll just play around with it and see what goes on with that. It says there's too many script lines. But anyway, it has its own documentation. If you're kind of confused about the syntax for using this system, there is a documentation tab. If you click on documentation, it has a quick reference guide, a cheat sheet. It has things about graphics. It has other outputs to Pixel, Babylon, its microScript 3D projects, other language bindings such as Python, Lua, JavaScript, other advanced tools like networking support. And actually, if you click on the Explore tab here, for example, they send you to their website, and you can actually look and examine on the code and things like particle systems, other active platforms that actually run inside of the scripting system here. Like you click a new game, if I click the enter button or something, you can actually make game projects, at least out, there's parallax scrolling apparently. I think I'm doing something wrong with this kitty cat game. I'm not really sure what the name of the game is. But anyway, it has all those features out for other projects there that you can actually explore. And if you click on the code there, you can actually examine the code here. So if you're having problems parenting or learning how to look at the syntax for the language there, and they show you, you can actually download, export the projects of your own, or make some other interesting, nice, fun games of yours. So anyway, so check it out and take a look at it and see what you think. If you want to learn from me, hopefully you check out my courses or some of my other material out there on the web, or if not, you can just watch whatever else we have going on. But anyway, that's microStudio. It's available at microStudio.dev. And it's a pretty nice, expansive. It has a pretty good community of people working on projects and fixing bugs and errors in it, or for helping people work on game projects there. So if you're having any questions or comments about how things work, or about what's going on out there in the future, I'm pretty sure you can check it out and see what's going on there. It even has a step-by-step process about how to create each one of the things. It has its own tutorial setup. It has exportable projects, community things, a lot of nice, useful tools. Even inside the tool, they have support. If we go back to the system at hand, you can have a. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I'm doing something wrong there. I'm playing around with it myself. But anyway, if you click on the, they have this status bars about how much time you spent working on it, how much time you spent. You can actually unlock other things, which is helpful to people who are new to programming or new to creating projects out there. Maybe I should exit off and turn it back on. Maybe I'm doing something wrong with it. But anyway, it has, you don't even have to download the tool. You can actually look at you create projects of your own, or explore there, whatever you're, just for example, it's pretty fast. It runs inside the web page, but you can actually make sound. It has sound editing tools and things that you can use. You can have, if you make a level, right? If you had a tile, right? For example, if I make a sprite here, if I add a sprite there, and I color it in using this art tool, right? And then we're going to make some grass here. Wrong tool there. Switch colors. We have a pretty host with a nice selection of particular. This is not the best grass. I'll just, we're doing this on the fly. So anyway, inside the map tool, you can actually take those sprites that you make. If I define a level, if I make a level here, I click map, and I can use those sprites there to draw a tile map. And then inside of my game project, if I made a world, if I somehow made a world here, I can define how big I want the world to be used, and actually it gives you the code down here at the bottom that you can copy paste into your game process, which is a lot easier than a lot of people are used to doing. There, and if I run it, it'll render my tile map for me, right, inside of my game world. Right? So that's even easier than most scripting languages. Anyway, so check it out, take a look at it, and see what you can create on your own, and I will see you next time. And hopefully we'll learn together, right? And as always, learn, play, and discover computer science at darkcybernetics.com.